The office since the beginning of the year. I was previously the executive director for Huber Heights Chamber of Commerce, which unfortunately I guess is where you met Al. You know.
Unfortunately.
Again, we can't really take any call for that, you know. But you managed to deal with Al, so I'm sure you are very good at networking with people. And I have she has Bachelor of Arts, a degree from Walsh University and an MBA from Ashland University, and her career has been spent in nonprofit administration, with my current position being my first in local government. Again, welcome so much.
Okay. So I really appreciate you having me here today, and I am joined by two of my esteemed colleagues from the Clerk of Court's office, Mr. Dan Edwards, who this is the presentation that you're going to see today. He put together.
We collaborated on. Thank you very much.
He put many hours of work into this, and so hopefully it will answer the majority of your questions that people have about the Clerk of Court's office and what we do, and tell you some things that may surprise you. David Cordonier is also with us. He is just the newest member of our team at the Clerk of Court's office. Just last Monday he joined us.
Wow.
So as was mentioned in the introduction, I've been with the office since January. So there probably are going to be some things that I'm going to have to say, I don't know. But it's been an amazing experience so far. It's been great to really get into an area where I feel like I can make a difference with the county, and I know that Dan feels the same, and I'm sure that David will agree with that as well. So first and foremost, we're going to answer the question, what does the Clerk of Courts do? Because in the time I've been with this office, and I've had this discussion with lots of people, I kind of get a blank stare, right? The Clerk of Courts. Most people don't even know where to start, or they think that the only time they have an involvement with the Clerk of Court's office is when they have involvement with the court system. So if they've never had involvement with the court system, they feel like none of this touches them. But that is definitely not the case, as you will see. So given where we are and the discussion of history that we were just having here at our table, it seems appropriate that we start off with a little bit of history about the Clerk of Court's office. So the Clerk of Court's office was established in ancient Greece initially, way back. And you'll have to forgive me, I don't have these dates memorized because this is the first time I've ever given this presentation. So the Clerk of Courts was established in what year initially, do you think? Way back. Think biblical times.
Before or after Christ?
Before.
543 BC.
543 BC. Okay, any other guesses?
That's just a guess. I'll say 150 BC.
He was closer. Tony was closer. 751 BC is the first evidence
200 years.
of a position like this within the government. So there was a secretary who read official documents publicly at the opening of a meeting, and that was the first recording of that happening. The fun fact that Dan wanted to include was one of his first duties was to decree a curse upon anyone who should seek to deceive people. Now, our Clerk of Courts has not placed any curses on anyone that I'm aware of, but initially that was part of their wheelhouse. So then we move into Middle Ages, a little bit more modern. The term clerk comes from the word clericus, and that's kind of the beginning of the modern evolution of what our idea is of a Clerk of Courts. So at that time, there were a lot of people who obviously could not read or write. We were just discussing this at our table, and kind of the disparity that created in society. And so the clerk came to mean a scholar, right? This was somebody who could read, could write, and was tasked with keeping official records for the government. They were required to read, write, and serve as a notary, secretary, accountant, and recorder. So it was kind of a jack of all trades position at that point. And then as far as in Ohio, Ohio became a state in 1803, and the state legislature required that each county have a clerk of courts. How many counties are in Ohio?
88.
88, okay, good. I figured everybody would know that. They were tasked to preserve records for future generations, which is what our official duty is. Our official duty is to maintain records for the court, so that every record of every legal proceeding that happens in this county, either in common pleas court or municipal court, goes through our office. And the office of the clerk became an elected office with a term of 3 years, which later changed to 4 years. Our clerk is elected for 4 years. Our current clerk, Mike Foley, came into an unexpired term when Russ Joseph left prematurely, and so he was there for 2 years initially, appointed, and then ran for another 4-year term, and then he will run again for another 4-year term. So our clerk, Mike Foley, is a veteran, and he obviously cares very deeply about the veteran community, supporting veteran causes, and that's actually part of what I'll discuss here in a few minutes, part of our help center, and some of the issues that we address through our community outreach. Clerk Foley has also been a small business owner and entrepreneur for over 25 years. He established the first watch restaurants down in the Cincinnati area, and he's done some other small business ventures over the course of his career. So he understands the challenges faced by small businesses, what kind of resources they need, what kind of services the government needs to provide to them. He started out in local government as a deputy registrar at the BMV in Huber Heights. And a lot of people don't realize that the BMV is not run by the government. Everybody always seems to think that it's a government organization, but it's more of a franchise. So an individual becomes a deputy registrar. You have to be chosen to do it, becomes a deputy registrar and runs an individual BMV location. And so there is a contract with the state to provide those services, but the state does not run that entity. The clerk of court's office does also not run that entity, which a lot of people again confuse, because clerk of courts has auto title and BMV has plates, and so it is a difference. But in that position, he was able to start to understand kind of the relationship between BMV and auto title and exactly what the clerk of court's office does, and again the services that are needed from that office. So that was kind of his introduction to his interest in becoming a clerk of courts later on. So Clerk Foley is a dual clerk, which means he serves both the municipal court and the common pleas court. This is not the case in all areas. This is something that is done by statute, and there are only 5 counties in the state of Ohio that do this way. In other counties, there will be 2 separate clerks for the 2 separate court systems. And this is based on population. The counties with the highest populations are the ones that have a dual clerk setup. So it is a cost savings, obviously, for our county to have a dual clerk rather than having 2 separate offices that would serve one to serve the common pleas and one to serve the municipal. Wrong way. Clerk Foley lives with his family in Oakwood. That's his wife Lisa, and he enjoys golf, loves to travel, which is an important part of one of the services that we'll talk about here in a bit. So the clerk of court's office is divided into 3 divisions. We have auto title, we have municipal, and we have legal. Thank you. The division that I'm a part of, I blanked out. Right. So legal, auto title, and municipal. So we have the heads of all those divisions here, and instead of just listening to me talk, We had the heads of those divisions just give a little synopsis of what it is they do, what issues they address, what services they provide. And so you can kind of see some of the people that are involved in the clerk's office and also hear a little bit from them about what they see as being the value of their services.
Montgomery County Clerk of Court's Auto Title Division
Can
has
everybody
5
hear
convenient
this?
locations to assist with your needs. We are pleased to announce that we're now one of the few watercraft registration agents in all of Montgomery County. Our mission is to maintain the highest level of customer service while providing efficient records and management of all auto title, watercraft, and passport-related documents.
We'd be happy to answer any questions you might have regarding your application. We'll take your photo, collect your fees, and know your application to passport services on your behalf. And by the way, you do not need an appointment to come in and process your passport.
Montgomery County Clerk of Court's Mike Foley was also instrumental in establishing the only TSA pre-check processing location in Montgomery County at our downtown location on the first floor administration building. Clerk Foley's office has also been a longtime partner with the Ohio Bureau of Motor Vehicles. We now have 2 convenient locations for driver examinations at our Huber Heights location on Chambersburg Road. And now, our newest driver's exam location is at the Moraine Auto Title location on Springboro Pike.
Another innovation brought forth by Clerk Mike Foley is the Clerk of Court's Courier Service, dealing directly with busy auto dealers. The Clerk of Court's Courier Service is a game changer for busy auto dealers. With this innovative service, dealers can save time and focus on their customers. The Courier Service can retrieve and return auto title work to any dealer within the Montgomery County area with an optional same-day service or a maximum 48-hour turnaround time. All of our offices accept drop-off and pickup of title work, or if they are in a rush, dealers can stop by the dealer-only office at our downtown location to have up to 15 titles processed while they wait. This service is a testament to the power of innovation and its positive impact on businesses. Just another way Clerk Mike Foley is bringing the courthouse to you.
Okay, so you heard about a couple really important things there. And this sheet that I gave everybody before we started shows the services that have been implemented in our office over the last 5 years. And auto title, obviously, anybody who buys or sells a vehicle will need to get the title transferred through our auto title division. So that's a way that our office touches everybody in this room. Passport processing is something that we're really trying to make businesses aware of, because we know that obviously it's not the most convenient thing to have to take time out of your day to come down to the county building or to go to the post office to process your passport. And so we actually have a passport outreach service through our auto title division where we can come out to a business or a community organization. We've been working with YMCAs and rec centers, credit unions, places where people are going already to do something else, and then this is something that they can complete while they're there. We have the entire process set up. They can bring their documents, they can get their photo taken, they can pay, and then they'll receive their passport in the mail just like they would if they came to one of our locations to do it on site. So this is something that, you know, we're really hoping that businesses see as a value to them, to their employees and their families, their customers, their members, obviously depending on what kind of organization it is, and a way that, you know, we can really be of value in other ways than just having people come to us, that we can come to them, you know, and bring our services to them. TSA pre-check is another thing that has just been instituted within the last few years. Previously, you had to go to Cincinnati to do TSA pre-check, and so we have the only location in Montgomery County where you can do that. All right, so as far as auto title, they do a lot, and our next division is legal.
Located in the Common Pleas Courthouse in downtown Dayton. We handle civil, criminal, and domestic relations case filings and maintain accurate records for the Common Pleas and Second District Court of Appeals. The Civil Division manages records in legal disputes like medical malpractice,
personal injury, and contract disputes. We also process mortgage foreclosure, debt lien, and civil protection case filings. The Domestic Relations Division accepts filings in divorce, dissolution, annulment, child custody, and child support cases. This division also handles filings for allegations of domestic violence within marital and dating relationships. The Criminal Division maintains filings for felony, criminal, and fugitive case types and issues motion to suppress, not guilty by reason of insanity, and grand jury subpoenas. To request records, please visit the Montgomery County Clerk of Courts website and select the Public Records Online quick link. E-filing is also available across all divisions. And our office is now using AI technology that automates the case filing process, working 24 hours a day, 365 days a year.
So, like I said, the legal division is kind of the one that people are most familiar with, that they automatically associate with the Clerk of Court's office, and so it keeps record of every legal proceeding that happens in those two divisions of our court in Montgomery County. She mentioned that we have been starting to use AI to expedite some tasks to allow our employees to focus on things that are a little bit more involved. She didn't mention, but we are using text notifications for court appearances, again, because that's kind of where a lot of people live now, right? If it's not on their phone, they don't know what's happening. So we're doing text notifications. We're doing online payment processing so that people can pay their court fines and costs online instead of having to write a check, which I was amazed wasn't a thing across the board. I can't believe that there are some places that don't do that, but that is something that has just been instituted within the past few years. So our legal division is really embracing technology and really trying to use it to streamline our processes and make it as convenient as possible for people who have to interact with us through the court system. Our legal. And finally, our municipal division, which is our court locations. We have a court in Trotwood, and we have a court in Huber Heights, and this is Belinda Davis, who is the chief deputy of that division.
Municipal Court Division has two locations to serve citizens of Montgomery County. Each division is located on the western road.
Use the microphone.
Heights, Ohio.
Hi.
Western Division
I have it there.
East Main Street and Providence, Ohio. Municipal Court Division prides itself on providing exceptional customer service, either in person, at the counter, over the telephone, or email correspondence. Municipal courts process all adult traffic, criminal, and misdemeanor cases occurring in the court's jurisdiction. We coordinate timely court proceedings, process courtroom activities, and input case disposition. After the proceedings, that information is then relayed to customers while providing all the necessary documents. We also collect fines and costs and can administer helpful payment plans for customers who require additional time to pay. We also process expungements and civil records. These small claims and civil cases are also covered by municipal courts.
Okay, I don't know why that one wasn't as loud as the other ones. Okay, so in addition to, technology, which isn't going real great right now.
Sorry.
You'll see this recurring theme throughout all three divisions where we are using technology to, again, streamline our processes, to reduce costs, to make things more convenient for our customers and our employees. We talked about artificial intelligence. E-filing, again, is something that has just been instituted within the last few years. So instead of having to come to the courthouse to file documents, attorneys can file online, and online payment we already talked about. We also have online notary services. You can come and have a document notarized in person in our office for free, or you can do online notary, depending on what your needs are, and all that is done without charge.
That's good to know.
I know it's hard to find places And you don't need to make an appointment, you can just walk in, we have several notaries in our office, so one of them will be available for you. So customer service is something that we really focus on at the clerk's office. Like I said, our services touch almost everybody in our community, between auto title and court services and TSA pre-check, passports, all that. And so, you know, making sure that we're providing our customers with a positive experience is really important to us. We do have after hours community outreach. A lot of our passport outreach is done after hours, usually between the hours of 6 and 9 for, again, people that are getting off work and coming to the Y or coming to the rec center or those types of places to process their passports. And we also have a community outreach division in our office called the Help Center. And this brochure rack that you see over here is part of that. If you've been to a YMCA, if you've been to a library in Montgomery County, you have probably seen one of these. And this is basically a library of materials that will address many legal issues. We have about 40 legal issues that we have information on. And it gives people an idea of kind of where to start in a process or what the basic information that they need to have in order to take the next step. So if it's something where they need to contact an attorney, there will be information in there about that and some resources in our community. If there are specific documents that they need, those are the types of things that will be in these brochures, because a lot of people don't know what questions to ask initially, don't know where to start in a process that they're unfamiliar with and they've never encountered before. And so our Help Center is really geared towards getting people on the right track as far as a lot of these legal issues and concerns. Passport events throughout the community. Passport events are kind of my baby right now, so I talk about those a lot. So all of this obviously costs money, but we make a concerted effort to make sure that we are being a good steward of our taxpayer dollars. As I mentioned before, Clerk Foley has been in office since 2018, and he has returned over $8 million to the county during that time. So we have implemented 10 new services and also saved $8 million over the course of that time. So, you know, really working to do more with less and really working to make sure that we're using our tax dollars in the best way and most efficient way possible. The clerk's office is committed to fiscal responsibility and increasing that number in future years, which you'll see here in a minute. So by the end of year 2024, Clerk Foley will return an additional savings to the citizens of Montgomery County. It is at $8 million right now, and it started out in 2018 when Clerk Foley came into office. Actually, right at the end of the year, he made the decision to return $1 million to the county. In successive years, it's been more than that, as you can see, always between $1 and $2 million. Now you can see as we've implemented more and more services, it's gone down a little bit, and then once we've gotten these services streamlined, it's starting to go back up. So what it will be in 2024, we're not sure yet, but the trend is that it will be at least over $1 million. So community outreach is something that's really important to our office, as I've mentioned several times, whether it's community outreach to businesses and organizations through passport events, or whether it's outreach to individuals who may be experiencing some legal issues. This is something that Clerk Foley has really made a priority. He established the Help Center in 2018, which you'll hear in the video, but taking taking these resources out to the community has been something that has been really important to him. There are other clerks throughout the state who have established help centers that are a little bit different model, where people come to the help center in order to get information, but we are really the only one that I've interacted with, and I've gone and toured several of them throughout the state, that works with community organizations and businesses to take the resources out to where people are. So that's something that's really important to us.
In 2015, the Ohio Supreme Court encouraged clerks and judges to take steps to help underserved citizens navigate the court system. In 2019, 1 year after taking office, Mike Foley, the Montgomery County Clerk of Courts, implemented his vision by establishing the Help Center. It's a self-help, community-driven outreach platform headquartered in downtown Atlanta. Since its inception, this division has grown tremendously, with more than 50 community partners and over 20 community outreach events each month. These programs provide free legal and community-based resources to help educate the public about processes and services available to them. Clerk Foley also created a high school program to prepare students for life after graduation and much more. Clerk Foley is a strong advocate of meeting people in various places throughout Montgomery County. He calls this unique concept taking the courthouse to you. We are so excited to continue this initiative and to serve the citizens of Montgomery County. If you have a question, feel free to reach out to our help center or visit our website at courthousetoyou.com.
So as far as our legal resources are concerned, like I said, we have about 40 topics that we have information on. We also try to have a little bit more of a holistic approach as well, other than just legal resources. We also have resources for other community organizations who may provide assistance with food, with housing, with clothing. We have information about job training and placement for people who may have some criminal issues in their backgrounds. So we're really trying to not just address the legal issues, but also some of the life issues that may kind of go hand in hand with some of those situations. So like the video said, we go out to about 25 community outreach events every month. We have partners in the community, everybody from social service organizations to medical facilities, drug and alcohol treatment, credit unions, rec centers, YMCAs, libraries. So we try to be as accessible as we can to all kinds of people, and so that they have access to our resources. I believe this is the last one. This is Steve Harsman. He's our Chief Administrator in the Clerk of Court's office. I don't know if any of you might recognize him. He was with the Board of Elections for his career before this. He was the Director of the Board of Elections, and so he's been with our office for about 18 months, and
here in administration, we take
Steve's right-hand man.
pride in providing personalized customer service while utilizing time-saving, state-of-the-art technology. Our administration offices are located on the first floor of the Common Peace Court building on Perry Street in downtown Dayton. Our administration team includes human resources, information technology, communications, community outreach, while smoothly operating the day-to-day functions of the Clerk of Court's office. Our number one priority is to provide outstanding customer service across all three divisions. When you interact with our friendly and knowledgeable staff, you should expect and receive the highest level of customer service. Here at the clerk's office, we have our own information technology department that has implemented innovative technology, providing more efficient processes with the highest level of security possible. It is our goal to provide user-friendly functions to all business aspects across all three divisions. We are constantly looking for money-saving practices while being good stewards of taxpayer dollars. We are proud of the fiscal responsibility we practice each and every day while representing our citizens. If you ever have any questions or need assistance, feel free to reach out to our helpful staff, either in person or by phone. At the Clerk of Court's office, we are here to continue the tradition of excellent customer service for citizens of Montgomery County, because you deserve it.
so this is just basically the handout that I gave you. This shows the services that have been implemented over the last 5 years. There's been 10 new services. Most of these you've already heard about. One thing that I think I kind of glossed over that I want to go back to is this last one down in the corner, our partnership with the Ohio BMV. There was previously only driver's exam services offered through the BMV in Huber Heights. And the wait time got to be about 3 months for people to get a driver's exam done. So we recently, when I say recently, I mean within the last month, implemented driver's exams at our auto title office in Moraine. I don't know if any of you are from that area and might remember our auto title office in Moraine had an accident. Last winter there was an accident with a driver there, not related to driver's exam. No, somebody who was going to a different business in the plaza where our office is located drove through the front of our office. And so we had to obviously go through a remodel and basically rebuild the entire place. And so over the course of that time, the idea came about for us to offer driver's exam services there. And so when we reopened that location, like I said, just about a month ago, that's a brand new service that we are now offering. So in Montgomery County now there are 2 locations where you can take your driver's exam. One at the auto title in Huber Heights, which is operated by the BMV, and then one at our auto title in Moraine, which is operated by the Clerk of Court's office.
So if you go to Moraine, you could go to the drive-through.
Yeah, let's hope nobody does that again.
Did you schedule him for a retest or her for a retest?
Something else I just realized that I didn't touch on before was connecting with the community. I think you saw a little snippet of a video of a connecting with the community, but this is something that we do right now on a monthly basis, and I am actually working to get 2 more per month established in different areas of the county so that it's, again, more easily accessible to people. But this is something where we bring in social service organizations, charitable organizations, government organizations, just to kind of do some presentations so that people in the community can know what these organizations do. If there's something maybe that they want to support, how they can go about supporting it. If there's something that could be helpful to them or to somebody that they know, that they're aware of, that these services exist. So this is just something that our office has done to, again, kind of bring information to the community, make them aware of these services that are available in case they are in need of them or would like to support them. So the priorities of our office, we have 8 locations throughout Montgomery County, which obviously we strategically have placed so that we can reach the most number of people. We have Huber Heights, obviously we have our downtown location. We have courts in Huber Heights and Trotwood. We have auto titles in Huber Heights, Moraine, where am I missing? Centerville. That's right, yes.
Englewood.
Yeah, that's what I said. So, you know, we're trying to be centrally located so that it's not too far of a drive for anybody to get to one location. Providing customer service with over 100 employees. I was shocked when I came to the Clerk of Court's office and I found out there were over 100 employees. But when you think about all the services that we offer and all the locations that we have, it's a big undertaking. All of this is done on about a $15 million budget. So that kind of puts that $8 million that's gone back to the county in context. $8 million over the last 5 years out of a total of $15 million each year. So it's a pretty sizable portion of that.
Question for you on the budget. How does the budget work? I mean, I do a lot of work with like the Air Force, and you know, if I give money back this year, I'm probably not getting it next year. So if Clerk Foley has consistently been able to go ahead and be able to return, you know, $1 million, I'm assuming again that he's really still stuck with that budget where it's roughly around the same amount every year, and then every year he does give back. And then the part B to the question is, for the money that he does give back, that goes back to the county, and what does the county then do with that additional windfall that it was not expecting?
Well, now again, I've been with the county for 3 months, so I'm not gonna pretend to know all the ins and outs of this. Just in general, when that money goes back to the county, it's then at the county's discretion what they do with it. That we don't determine where that money goes, or it just kind of goes back into the general fund.